after playing a few days in the Silver Tempest format, I think we've all come to accept that Lugia is a pretty strong deck. But if you've been playing enough Arceus plus Path to the Peak decks like I have, you've probably come to realize that Lugia really despises Path to the Peak. Especially if a lot of people aren't running the barrel engines and they're running like Crobats and Lumineons instead as their search engines, they are really going to falter against Path to the Peak in the early game. And that's all Lugia needs to succeed in, because once Lugia is set up and the Archeops are on the field, there's really not too much you can do about it besides possibly playing Temple Sinnoh against our two alternative attackers back here. But, with that said, I decided I wanted to run a Path to the Peak in Lugia, which sounds insane. You know, if you have Path to the Peak, you can't use your Summoning Star, which means you can't get your Archeops out, which means you can't get your Special Energy out. So, what's the deal? Path to the Peak is really good in the mirror. In general, it's just really good against the field right now. If people are going to be committing to Mew decks and Arceus decks, Kyurem, stuff like that, right? That's where Path to the Peak really succeeds. So I wanted to make use of that. So we are running a Pumpkin Boo, which fulfills a similar niche to how it did in the Arceus Guaranteed Pikachu list, or the list before that with the Decidueyes, where you can fetch it off a Quick Ball or an Ultra Ball, and discard the Path to the Peak and play, and then immediately start using your own abilities, which means that you have control over when you can, like, pull the trigger and start going. Another card that I'm running 4 of is Worker. I'm not sure if you want to run 4 of Worker, but because I'm running 4 of Path to the Peak, I thought it makes sense. You don't really want to put Path to the Peak down and then lock yourself out, because as soon as your opponent gets initiative, that's when things can possibly go south. So I'm running 4 of Worker, who just says draw 3 cards and discard a Stadium play, which I think works really well in this deck. The only thing you want to keep your hand size down for is possibly Crobat and Serena, but once Lugia is set up and it gets its Archeops on the field, there really isn't much your opponent can do about it. So, you know, I just thought, okay, well, we'll run all these anti-Stadium cards along with Path to the Peak, shut down the opponents, and try to get ahead on the prize trade, even if we're going second. Or get even farther ahead if we're going first. So that's the list. I hope you guys enjoy the games. Oh, one more thing. I took out a Crobat VMAX from this list. I put it as second research, but, you know, there's a few things that you can, like, think about here. It's like, do you really want the Dunsparce? Do you want to throw in a Raikou package? Do you want to run a Marty so you can shuffle your hand back into your deck? Or if you don't want to discard your hand with either of these 2 draw options here. There's quite a few things I think you consider. You can even consider running a Boss's Orders as well. But, yeah. All that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the games, and I'll see you guys later. Starting off with that first game here, we got a Mew game with Lugia. Expect to see a lot of Mews. In fact, when I went and checked on Limitless, I believe that the, what's it called? I believe that Mew is the most popular deck right now. It has a below 50% win rate because there's a bunch of bad people playing it. But, I mean, Mew is right there. So, you know, letting Mew go first is not the greatest. I'm not a huge fan of my opening hand. I think I would have been even less of a fan of my opening hand if I went first instead of second. Like, at least I can play this Worker here, but the current situation doesn't look so good. As we are just waiting for Mew to get set up. Though he does benchlock himself a little bit. There's 3 Genesects, 1 Melona, 1 Oricorio, and a Mew, so his ability to Psychic Leap is, you know, not there. And we hit a Archeops on that, which is good. I'm just looking around to see what I need. I'm pretty sure that a boss is coming, so I'm probably just going to sit on the second Lugia. I can't really Crobat right now, which kind of sucks, but it's fine. We'll just do that. We will Powerful Energy. Oh, I think I do get the... No, I don't go for the Crobat. I just pull out Amazing Evoltal, because I figured it's going to be useful at some point. At some point in time? Yeah. Because we could go Lugia, Yveltal, Lugia, and Charizard for all 6 of our prizes. Or the Dunsparce gets knocked out, and then, yeah, they only have to deal with one of them. But I'm going to presume a boss is going to come out, because just typically how these players run, they just want to kill you. As predicted. He goes for the Wolfie Energy too, which is rough. Not a great situation. He also puts down the Path to the Peak against us, which is also not very pleasant. But, I mean, there's still a chance we get out of here. The research off the top is very, very good, because I can't play the Lumineon right now. It's awful. I'm also determining whether or not I need to attach a DTE to the Yveltal or to the Lugia. I was like trying to think about my chances of actually getting set up this turn. I was like, well, I can attach it there, and I need to find a switch, and then my second Archeops, and then find a way to discard the Archeops, and then also a stated reveal. It just seemed like too much work to actually feasibly get it out. And unfortunately, I'm also only going to be able to drop one Archeops this game. But seeing as that I've already used my VSTAR, I'm just going to put Path of the Peak down. And, you know, presumably because my opponent is playing a Path of the Peak deck, they got ways around it. And I'm just going to leave the Path up. So, like, if they know, maybe they've screwed themselves. If not, we're not in a great situation, as he's already showed the Lost City, which is fine. It does mean that Charizard is active again, which is good. The two situations that I was really thinking about was like, okay, well, if Path of the Peak goes down, Charizard can attack next turn. And if not, Yveltal will. Also, unfortunately, he's also hit the Fusion Strike energy onto the Meloetta, so the Meloetta can attack, or the Mew can. The Mew is on cooldown from the Technoblast, so not very likely. Misses the Chromatic, which, you know, sucks for him, I guess. As we're going to draw more cards, he does it again! Unfortunate. So I'm trying to think about what card Mew is trying to grab here. I think it's the Choice Belt for the Meloetta, because even though he's played 2 Power Tablets, he's only hitting 270, which means that he needed this last one in order to get the KO. Yeah, as we get hit for 300. So all my Lugias are gone now. I'm relying on my single prizers, which is fine. This is sort of needed. And I also hit the Archeops in there a little bit too late, but whatever. I'm trying to think about the current situation right now. Like, can I V-Guard energy plus a Heat Fire energy to actually live a hit here? And I come to the conclusion that the answer is no, because even though that gets me up to, I think that gets me up to 210, I still get knocked out from basically most things, right? So I just decided not to risk it and attach all the energies onto the Yveltal. I also know that because I only have one Archeops out, I'm going to have to take 2 turns to charge up Yveltal anyways, so you know, just doing the best I can. Mew comes up, and I'm sort of waiting to see what it's going to do. Actually, just goes for the attack, which is like super surprising. Didn't even put down another Mew. I think he burned all the Quick Balls on like his first turn, so I mean, that's good for us, I guess. I go ahead and take the Crobat out of the deck. It could have been really any card, but I'm just trying to thin my deck out, like, so I can draw into something that's helpful. And I just shove the Heat Fire because it's no longer going to be usable in anything else. And shove it onto the Yveltal here, just in case I need to attack with the Crobat VMAX later. And he ends up forfeiting, presumably because he didn't get another attacker set up, so I guess we take those. Mew player burning themselves out, and Path of the Peak is a card that exists. Anyways, we are going into a Lugia mirror match now. And Lugia... So this is like the big reason why I'm running the Path of the Peaks, is because, like I said, Lugia despises Path of the Peak, right? So if I have tools to play around mine... Also, I can't even tell this is a Lugia matchup yet. It's like, Gardevoir? What is this? Like, Art Good? But yeah, it's gonna be Lugia. So yeah, I just like, well, I don't really know what to do, so I'm just gonna attach all of this, get it set up. Don't really have to do too much else. I don't really like my lineup in my hand right now because I have so many like cards I just feel like aren't very playable. Like, the Pumpkin Boo is supposed to be safe for later. I don't mind dropping the Yveltal, actually. Yveltal is something I'm probably gonna set down prematurely. Even though it plays into possibly, what's it called? It possibly plays into... Damn, I forget the name. Also, I go for Lumineon. I think I'm grabbing, like, Research, because I really don't care about most of this hand. I attach the Air Balloon there. In case of the Lumineon goes away, or, like, they play Avery or Collapse Stadium, I can get rid of it that way. And I am just going to grab my VSTAR. Cool. And this is about, like, the exact situation where everything pans out. I'm able to play my Archeops into play. I put the Path of the Peak down before they could do anything. And it's just like, now what do you do, right? The game is over. I could go ahead and get my last Powerful, my last V-Guard. This will allow me to hit 280 and take minus 30 damage reduction. And since the Gardevoir is gone, I don't have to worry about that buff anymore. The next prize is another Archeops. Doesn't really matter at this point. And then, like, even if I have to play a Crobat or something, I have the worker in hand. Though this is a little bit of an unfortunate situation where I can't really play the worker because I want to keep the path in play, right? I mean, it's fine. I'm so far ahead that it doesn't matter. And, you know, maintaining all of this is just way better for me. But I can see where the worker would interfere in a lot like this. Well, we have both the Archeops there. We don't have to do anything else for the rest of the game. I don't even use my Archeops attachments, just in case if I'm like, do I want to use the Yveltal or do I want to use something else? Ends up getting the VSTAR in the Collapse Stadium. Once again, the reason why I kept the Air Balloon on the Yveltal instead of the Lumineon is so I could get rid of the Lumineon just in this one case scenario, which it worked out. We hit, you know, a bunch of other cards that aren't really super relevant right now. Worker's fine. Hiding Darkness is okay. Especially because I'm probably going to go and attach the Yveltal right now. And even with all of the powerful energies attached to Lugia, this is still going to be a failed knockout because he only hits 270. Normally would be hitting for 300, but V-Guard energy is broken. And even if he did go for the V-Guard energy, I have the Yveltal in the back, which I am just going to make use of. I don't really need this choice belt on right now with the game state. He also like pops Collapse for me, which is even better. Just go ahead and attach everything I need to on here. I just attach all the rainbows, which is a little bit absurd, but oh well. Go for it. Do this. Go to Yveltal. And get the knockout. This lets me preserve Lugia just so I have a backup Swainer already. You know, there's basically no reason to let Lugia die here, I feel like. So yeah. He forfeits, and we move on to Game 3, which is another Mew matchup. Another matchup where Path of the Peak is the greatest card of all time. Unfortunately, we hit a Crobat in the active, which is fine. There's no reason why this deck plays two of them. I'm also thinking about my current situation, so I'm pretty fine just dropping Path of the Peak down this turn. Looking through to see what I have. None of my amazings are in the deck. This is like, this is sketchy, but it's fine. It's possible still. I go ahead, attach a DT here, and I am going to curve that for 2, just in case it gets me like another playable card. It really doesn't, so I'm just going to put down Path of the Peak. I have Worker in hand, so we are in a good spot. We're seeing the Chromatic Hit Heads, and I think he's going to fetch a VIP pass. As that's the next card he plays, so I'm going to presume so, right? Grabs a Mew, puts an energy on there, and then goes for the switch. Yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't have access to his Genesect draws right now, or else he'd probably be like way more set up, which is so good for me, right? I just go ahead and Worker, bump the Stadium, throw the DTE and the Quick Ball away. I'm just like, I don't really need them. I just sort of determined I'm pretty far ahead. Oh, I was also supposed to attach the Aurora to discard the Archeops. Like, I'm just such a fucking dumbass. I'm like so pissed at myself right now because I really should have not let that happen. It's fine because I attach a deity to the Lugia on the last turn. But like, don't do what I did. Don't be a fucking dumbass like that. Anyways, we just go ahead, retreat. And this play would have been almost so sick if I didn't mess that up. Like, I almost want to put that as like the clickbait clip that I usually do for my videos. And yeah. Also, I accidentally started this after my first turn, so they went first. This is their second turn. I played Worker, got rid of some cards, blah blah blah. And I wanted to do this. I still don't know what deck he's playing. For some reason, I don't notice the sleeves. It's like, oh, is this like Water Box? That's so cool. And then he jumps to Kyurem. I was like, oh, this makes a lot more sense. This is another matchup where Path of the Peak is really good. I really just hit all 3 of the decks I really wanted to hit today, which is usually such a trouble, right? Like, when I'm recording a video, I was like, okay, I need a Palkia video, or I need a Palkia match now. And then I either hit the Palkia and I lose awfully because I brick, or I play awfully, or I just don't. He throws down the Temple Sinnoh, which is okay, because I have ways around it. I have the Workers, I have the Punkaboos, I have my own Stadium to bump it, though I'm a little bit cautious about using my Stadium right now. Just attaches the water here, and we don't get a Rapid Freeze this turn, which is fine. I could go ahead and discard 1 Path of the Peak. right now and get some more cards. It's like, okay. Discard these two. I am going to grab a Crobat because I need more stuff to do. There's just like, yeah. I find nothing that's like super helpful right now. So I'm just like stuck in a tough position. I'm going to go ahead and throw Lugia into the active, quick ball some stuff away, get more Pokemon set up. I'm going to take the Yveltal because it allows me to KO the, what's it called? The dude. The Kyurem VMAX. And put Path to the Peak down, just hoping it'll slow him down. It prevents like Ice World, it prevents Star Portal, and I have the worker in hand. So I'm in the perfect situation to capitalize off of this. As we see the Kyurem like evolve here. And then there's a Water Energy in the discard. It also turns off Greninja, which is nice, because Greninja is just a little extra consistency booster. It makes things so much harder on them. We see the Palkia, and then we even see... Drumroll, please. Or does he do a regular... No, we see Training Core. It's like, oh well. At the very least, you know, I messed up his ordering a little bit, and now he is going to Star Portal, which is good on me, simply because I forced that out early, and I could prep around this situation, which is super good. But now, I'm also still in a tricky situation, because I don't have any Archeops in the discard. I know I just checked it, but I didn't see any in there. So I have to work decently hard to figure it out. I'm going to throw the Yveltal in the active, because I'm pretty sure if I win this game, it has to be off the back of Yveltal. So I'm going to go ahead and Ultra Ball the Darkness away, and I'd like determining whether I need to keep the Powerful. He's like, nah, we don't need it. I can attach the Aurora to hand, and I can do the proper play and actually discard the Archeops this time. And then we summon our two bros over here, which allow us to get the KO against the Kyurem. Super good, allows us to take 3 prizes, and we're pretty much back in the game. I take the Heat Fire out because I need, what's it called? He does have a fire cost, I just don't have another energy to fulfill it. And I take one of the V-Guards out and the Capture because, one, the Capture is pretty much useless by this point, and 2, I only need 1 V-Guard since they don't stack, so I'm pretty fine. Though, at this rate, I'm a little energy starved, which makes me concerned for the future. At the worst thing that can happen here, but, you know, I can't attack with Lugia unless if he happens to Marty me. Just like, this game had like such unfortunate pricing. Oh well. Anyways, we're gonna see Ultra Ball. I'm probably grabbing out with Kyurem because Kyurem is his best win condition. Yeah, grabs the Kyurem, which sucks because now I may have to deal with another Kyurem without a Yveltal. But we get Roxanne. I get Roxanne in a Path of Peak, which is pretty good because it does slow him down. And also those energies are back in the deck, which is super, super good for me. It just means that Ice World is turned off, Greninja is turned off, possible Crobat or Lumineon, though I don't think that deck usually runs more than 1. And I have all the tools in order to get the KO here, thankfully. I even hit a Lumineon, which is so good. I'm just thinking about what card I want to grab, and it's a choice between either Serena or Research right now. And I decided the only way I can lose is if Kyurem gets to KO by Lugia, and then I can't attack anymore because, you know, everything is dead. So I go ahead and take the Serena and boss up the... No, I'm not going to do draw effect. I'm going to boss up the Kyurem, just simply because, like I said, the only way I lose is if I lose my last attacker here. This is my last leg. So I go ahead and Archeops every single last energy into the deck. 2 Powerfuls and a V-Guard is like perfect, by the way. And I go ahead, take knockout, leave the Path to the Peak in play. And now there's basically no outs for him. He has to hit like... Is there even a single out for him at this point? Not that I can think of. Because even Thornton doesn't work. It'd have to be like... Yeah, because if you Thornton, you don't get Melody. So you'd have to do like manual attachment and then Ice World, and then you're still off by 1. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that I'm in the lead here. I even have an Air Blue in my hand in case if he tries to boss stall. So good on me. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I think this deck is super cool. Just the way that you can use Worker and Path to the Peak in tandem to make sure you have advantage on your turn, but your opponent doesn't. And yeah, I hope I see you guys later.